In the mid-1980s, there were 8 to 10 million salmon swimming around the Atlantic. Nowadays, the figure's closer to 2 or 3 million. So something's wrong, and they're giving us a really clear message that something is fundamentally wrong with our rivers and seas.
As the human population has risen, exploded really, a lot of the major animal species have collapsed. The salmon is one example of that.
The fact is, I think, if the Atlantic salmon were a land animal, we'd all be looking at that and thinking, wow, this is an endangered species.
In northeast Iceland, the Six Rivers project is attempting to reverse the fall in salmon numbers. One of the last havens for salmon, this wilderness provides a unique area to observe the species and conduct scientific research. The project has also put in place various conservation methods.
The Six Rivers work, I think, gives us insight because it's really a protected area. We're now actually seeing what natural salmon populations are doing.
The idea with those river systems up there is to manage them in a profitable manner, so they're sustainable entities for the long term. In other words, the sport fishing income pays for the cost of running the river and subsidises the local farmers who are part of the River Association. And then any surplus income gets fed back into the research program.
What I like about the Six Rivers project is it's really looking at how it can make not only the salmon populations better, but the rivers themselves healthier and the overall surrounding ecosystem better.
The project is successfully funding conservation on the ground, but it's also providing data with the hope that it will lead to action. In September, the project sponsored a conference in Reykjavik that brought together the scientific community over this issue.
We have to pool capability, knowledge, expertise if we're to tackle issues like this. There's no point working in isolation from other groups around the world. There are finite resources going into conservation work, and the only way to make sure they're really well used is to make sure the community comes together to tackle conservation issues like this one.
There is a renewed focus to provide concrete data and answers around the species deterioration. But without action, the salmon's future looks bleak.
I think one of the great joys in life is being able to observe, the animal kingdom, really. I live in a bit of a scientific world, and I believe in data and trajectories. And if you look at the data and the trajectory, something like the salmon or the lion, then it's inevitable that they'll become extinct. Unless something happens, because we've already wiped out 95% of the species. And it's, I think, very sad.